past 2 years, California has experienced a dramatic cut in education funding. According to the California Department of Education, as of January 2010, $17.8 billion has been cut from education, which led to the sudden layoff of teachers, increase in class sizes, and an incredible reduction in school programs. Among these cuts, certain programs are more beneficial to students than others, and there is a need to allocate the necessary amounts of money to the appropriate places. I would like to propose my main claim here. Music education programs are more beneficial and worthy of government funding than other programs such as sports or JROTC. To clarify my meaning of music education, I would like to define it as instrumental and choral music programs held in public schools from kindergarten through 12th grade. To support my main claim, I will be addressing 3 secondary claims. 1. Music education helps students in academic subjects. 2. Music education helps students not only academically but socially as well. And 3. The positive effects that music education has on students is more beneficial than programs such as sports and JROTC. My first supporting claim is that music education helps students in academic subjects. According to a recent study done by Joseph M. Pyro and Camilo Ortiz from Long Island University, their hypothesis has been proven to be true, that children who have received keyboard instruction as part of a music curriculum would demonstrate significantly better performance on measures of vocabulary and verbal sequencing than students who did not receive keyboard instruction on the piano. This research is not only tested through sampling, but scientifically, because neural response to music is a widely distributed system within the brain, and it would not be unreasonable to expect that some processing networks for music and language behaviors, namely reading, located in both hemispheres of the brain, would overlap. Not only does music affect academic scores regarding literacy and language, but arithmetic as well. Through a study done by Maureen Harris, the academic coordinator of clinical education and assistant clinical instructor at Northeastern University, it is proved that while music is viewed as a separate intelligence, there is a high correlation between mathematics and music, and it is more than a coincidence that math and music are noted for their crossover talents. Music involves ratios, regularity, and patterns, all of which parallel mathematical concepts. Aside from the academic improvements that students develop through music education, social benefits play a huge role as well, which brings me to my second supporting claim. Based on a research done by Edward P. Asmus from the University of Miami, music has been shown to be an effective method for relieving stress, curbing anxiety, reducing depression, and enhancing self-esteem. In the same research, Asmus has learned that through ensemble practices required through instrumental and choral music programs, a sense of cooperation and teamwork is developed among students. Asmus states that cooperative learning environments are more effective in the long term, and continuing emphasis by many performance-based music education programs on competition should be rethought. Not only do these researchers prove that music education is benefiting students in the present, but also their futures as well. Harris claims that the tools that the workforce of tomorrow will need are creative thinking, problem-solving, risk-taking, teamwork, and communication, and are precisely the skills the arts teach. With that being said, my third supporting claim is that music education is more beneficial to students and society than other programs such as sports or JROTC. Although these other programs seem to be basic programs incorporated in high schools across the nation, there are more benefits gained through music programs than activities such as sports. From the facts mentioned earlier, music education has a positive effect on academic learning, social interactions, and future potential career paths, all of which students will use throughout their lifetime. No other program benefits K through 12 students as much as music programs, and in difficult economic times, it is important that limited government funding that is offered towards education is spent on the more beneficial things. Thank you.
All right, the proposition contains a statement that's going to include a comparison, so we're going to expect some argument about that comparison. It comes in the third point in your argument, and when you get to that third point, there's basically no evidence on that point. There's a general statement that music does better than sports. There's not really a reference to the JROTC at all, so I have no quantifiable data on that particular point, and that's the comparison that you make in the proposition. I think that's a little bit problematic. On your secondary claims, you labeled them very clearly, and the signposting internally I thought was excellent, so it's easy to follow. There's no problem there. On the general value of music, you've got good information, but again, none of it is quantifiable. You mentioned that there's a relationship between language acquisition, and at another point there's a connection between music and mathematics, but we don't get any data that talks about the impact it has on people in some, like I said, some quantifiable form. There was one study that referred Gesundheit. There was one study that referred to the outcome of students who had keyboard training. I think it was on a language acquisition thing, but I don't remember that there was a numerical way of making that inference. I thought you did a good job citing your sources when you were talking about the need for musical programs and explanations, and you gave good qualifications on them. The presentation, you're rushing a little bit, and you don't need to because you still have almost 2 minutes left at the end, so you could probably pace yourself a little bit more. All right, thank you.